7, 8, and again 1, 2, and point 3, 4, flex 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to do this for 4 counts of 8, and whenever your students are flexing their feet, you want to try and tell them to lift their heels up off the floor. So they're pressing the backs of their knees down to the ground, so there's no space there, lifting the heels up off of the floor, okay? You ready to get started? We flex 1, 2, heels up, 3, 4, we flex 5, 6, and point, and flex, 4 counts of 8, and point, and flex, lifting the heels, chins up nice and tall, 2 more counts of 8, 1, 2, flex, point, sorry, and flex, chin up, and point, both feet, flex 1, and 2, point 3, 4, last time, flex, 6, lifting those heels, point, good, take the arms up, stretch it forward, pike, stretch, hold. You can come, you can just press the toes, slide it down on their backs. What I like to do is take my hand, press it underneath their knees, and make sure that they're pushing down onto my fingertips, right behind the knees. Good. And come up, and we finish. Okay, so the next exercise, we're going to do the same similar things, just making it a little bit more advanced. We're going to have our hands placed behind your head, sitting up nice and tall with a nice flat back, elbows out to the side. Flex 1, 2. We're going to turn it out to first position, 3, 4. Making sure that we're using those inner thighs and our heels are touching. Point 5, 6. Turn it parallel, 7, 8. Okay, and again the whole time, if you can get your students to lift those heels up off the floor during the whole process, that's an extra bonus. Open those elbows, flex for 1, 2, turn it out, 3, heels touch, and point, and close. Again, we flex 1, those heels are up off the floor, turn out, inner thighs, and point, and close, good job, and flex 1, 2, inner thighs, turn out, heels together, that's it, and keep it there, point, keep the turn out, and close, twice more, we flex 1, 2, turn it out, 3, 4, and point, keep that first position as much as possible, and close, good, one more stretch forward, take it down, hold, and from there flex the toes, grab the toes, pull the heels up off the floor, stretching even further in the backs of the legs. Good, and lift up, and lower the arms to finish. So next we're going to do a leg lift combination. We're going to stay seated in the pike position. We're going to keep these arms uplifted behind your head, and we do this so that the kids can get used to lifting their chest and keeping their back nice and flat. If you have them place their arms down, what naturally tends to happen is they just start to sink. Okay, so if we keep our arms lifted, we can keep our chins up and our chests nice and tall. Okay, we're going to lift our right leg up just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, put it down. Left leg up. 2, 3, down on 4. And lift. Good. And lift. You're going to do that a couple of times. So what you want to make sure is that your students aren't rocking back and forward and back. We're really trying to stay nice and frozen on the top half, nice and tall. And the leg just comes, the leg lifts to your nose. Your nose doesn't go down to your leg, right? Okay. 7, nice and tall. Pointed feet, keep it parallel. 1, hold 2, hold 3, down 4, lift, hold. Is your leg shaking? Because mine is. And down, right, lift. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take it all the way down to a stretch or a pike stretch. Good. We're going to hold it there. From there, we're going to keep the spine curved, rolling it back down, keeping the head down, nice and slow, back to the position, okay? Keeping these toes pointed the whole time. 7, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, touch your toes. And roll down. 6, 7, down on 8, and up. 2, 3, 4, and down. 6, 7, 8, again. 1, 2, use your tummy. 3, stretch. Roll down. Up again. Head. 2, touch. And down. Again. 1, 2, 3. We're going for 8 times. And down. So we have 3 more. And lift. And down. 2 more times. Here we go. Chin, curl, tummy. Stretch. And roll down. Keep those arms nice and straight. And curl. Roll down nice and slow. And finish. Good. Next, we're going to do our Superman exercise, which is going to help develop their back muscles, their glutes, and the backs of their hamstrings here. This is really great for future of their arabesques. We're going to place our arms out to the side, palms flat on the floor. Okay, you're going to keep the head turned over to the right or the left. Okay, just so that the spine can stay nice and straight. Okay, she's going to lift up as high as she can. We're going to keep your arms out in a second. For 1, 2, 3. She's going to lower back down on 4. Okay, so you're going to hold that for 3 counts, and we're going to lower on 4. And up again. Lift. 5, 6, 7. Back down on 8. And again, lift. 1, 2, 3. Down on 4. And lift. 5, 6. Higher. 7. Down on 8. Good. 7. Lift. 1, 2, 3. Down. 4. And lift. And down. And lift. 2, 3. Down on 4. And up. 6, 7. Lower. Lift. 1, 2, 3. And down. And lift. And down. And up. 2, 3. Down on 4. And lift. Hold. Good. And go ahead and grab these toes. We're going to lift it up into a nice basket stretch. Hold. Hold for another 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and lower. Go ahead and press up into a cobra stretch. Is your back sore? Okay, back down on the tummy. And cobra stretch. Bend these knees, touch your tail, or touch your ears. And finish. Okay, so the next exercise is a little leg lift from the back, working on that arabesque. So you're going to have your students start up, propped up on your elbows. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulders nice and long, okay? So what I always tell them for use of imagery here is that they have really gorgeous, long dropping earrings, right? Drop earrings. And their shoulders can't touch their earrings. They have to stay nice and tall with a long neck. Okay, so don't let your earrings touch your shoulders, right? Okay, from here, watch these single feet. Keep these legs together. They're going to lift their right leg up to the back. 4, straight leg. Straight leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lower 7. Other side. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just going to alternate from the right to the left for a couple counts of 8. Okay, what you want to make sure and to look out for is that both hips are staying flat on the floor. What you don't want to see is when they lift their leg, they're lifting their hip going, hey, look how high my leg's going, you know? That doesn't count. So you want to make sure that both hip bones are touching the floor the whole time. And it's not going to go very high, but it's about working all of these back muscles. Hold, off my arm, lift. exercise in the straddle position. So they're going to place their arms behind their head again, right? So we're sitting up nice and tall, looking at the camera, right? Big smiles. We're going to point one, so we're going to start with the pointed feet. Okay, so we flex 1, 2, we point 3, and 4, and flex 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to do that for about 4 counts of 8. And again, it's the same thing from the pike position. You want to make sure that they're pressing down the backs of their knees into the ground, and their heels should be just a little bit lifted up off the floor, okay? Yes, so we're activating all of these leg muscles. And then we're going to take a nice stretch forward at the end, walking the hands out to the center with pointed feet first. And then we'll flex the feet, staying in the stretch. 7, and we flex. 1, hold, 2, point, 3, hold, 4, flex, 5, 6, and point, flex, 1, 2, point, 3, 4, flex, 5, 6, perfect, 7, 8, again, flex those toes, good, and she points, and she flexes, and points, flex, 1, that's perfect flat back, and point, once more, flex, and point, stretch it forward, walking those hands down the center, keeping those nice pointed toes. So while we're here, we're just going to turn the legs out slightly, keeping the knees to the ceiling. And flexing the feet. And slowly roll up, keep those legs there the whole time. So next we are going to do straddle flat backs. So we're going to stay in the straddle position with our arms placed behind our head. So we have this nice flat back, right? We're going to flex the feet, okay? Keep those nice flex. We're going to go low as far as we can go for 1, 2, and we're going to come right back up 3, 4, and again 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So this is really going to help them working their inner thighs. Okay, so it's giving them a stretch, but it's also building stability. 7, and we go forward. 1, 2, and back. Good. And forward for 2 counts. And 2 counts back up. Nice. Good. And 1, 2, and back up. Flat back forward. And up. Good. Take a flat back and hold it. Flat back, hold. 2, hold, 3, 4, and back up. Good. Go ahead and point your feet. Point, flex. And again, down and hold. Good. Hold. 2, hold, 3, hold, 4, and back up. 5, and 6, point, 7, and 8. Stretch over to your right leg. Hold it. Good. Point those toes. And up, stretch it over to the left leg. You can go ahead and twist your torso, that's okay. Keeping the feet pointed. And once more, we walk it down the middle. And slowly walk it up. And arms up and high fifth. And finish. Good. Nice. Now we're going to take the point and the flex exercise and put it in our straddle up against the wall. Okay, so this is really going to help them go as far and deep into their straddle as they can. Okay, the wall's going to help us with that. So we're going to place our arms straight up against the wall with a nice straight going to help them keeping this nice flat back. Okay, versus having the arms on the floor again. They're lifted up. Okay, we're going to start with pointed feet. We're going to flex 1, 2, and point 3, 4, and flex 5, 6, point 7, 8, flex 1, 2, and point, and flex, and point. Okay, so we're going to do this for a couple counts of 8. And again, you want to just sneak your hand underneath your student's knees and make sure they're pressing your fingertips down into the floor and lifting those heels up off the floor as much as they can. Okay, it's a little bit harder to straddle, isn't it? To push on my fingers because it's stretching you. Yeah. Nice and tall. And flex 1, 2, point 3, 4, flex 5, 6, point 7, and 8. You flex 1, 2, point 3, 4, and flex 6, point. Keep going. We flex 1, 2, point, and flex, hold, and point, and finish. Go. After doing all those exercises, we need to do a little bit of stretching before we get into our simmer work. So we're going to show you guys how to stretch in your splits. You're going to have your students start up on their knees like this. Yep. They're going to put their right foot out in the front. You're going to make sure that both hands go on each side of your leg. So we don't have 2 hands to the right, and we don't have 2 hands to the left, 1 on each side, okay? And we're going to slide that front foot all the way, sitting up nice and tall, okay? Hold it there. So a few things to look for is to make sure that their big toe isn't turning in, that they're keeping it nice and straight, and again, that they're staying nice and tall, keeping their shoulders over their hips while they stretch, okay? They shouldn't be leaning forward. And we're going to hold, okay? You want to hold your stretches for about 30 seconds. It takes 30 seconds for your muscle to release, for you to get a really deep stretch. So sometimes I'll even set my timer on my phone and make all the kids hold for at least 30 seconds in every stretch when we're having a stretch day. Okay, go ahead and shake it out. And we're going to do the same thing to the left. So we're going to scoot back a little bit here, Chace. Okay, we're going to sit up nice and tall on our knee. We're going to put our left leg out. Hands on both sides and slide it out. Okay, again, we're looking for this big toe. Make sure that it stays nice and straight. And she's going to stand up as tall as she can. Yeah. Okay, and again, we hold it for about 30 seconds. Almost flatten this up. Almost. Good. Okay, so for the next part, it's usually done with the bar. These are your bar exercises, but since we don't have access to a ballet bar today or in the building here, we're just going to go ahead and use the wall. So if you're already doing this at home, it's perfect to just use the back of a chair or put your hands up against the wall. Okay, so we're going to get started with our feet in parallel position. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to flex and lift these toes up and hold 1, 2, 3, put them down on 4, and lift up, 6, 7, down, 8. We lift our toes up and down. One more time, we lift them up and down, okay? So what this is going to do is going to help your students to really engage and practice keeping their legs nice and straight. Okay, so as she lifts up, she's activating all of these muscles here right in front of her shins, keeping these kneecaps lifted and activating her quads and her hamstrings both at the same time. So her head's going to stay nice and tall. She's going to squeeze it down, and she's going to put her toes down. Okay. And we lift and down. Lift and hold. And down. Lift and hold. And lower. And hold. Down. 4. into a turned out position. So we're going to flex, we're starting parallel. We're going to lift the toes up, 1, 2, turn it out on the heels, 3, 4, put the toes down, 5, 6, plie, 7, stretch, 8. Then we're going to reverse, lifting up the toes. 1, 2, turn it parallel, 3, 4, put the toes down, 5, 6, plie, bend in parallel, 7, stretch, 8, okay? So again, we lift the toes, we turn it out, we put it down, we plie. We lift the toes, we turn it in, we put it down, we plie. Ready? Okay, so we want to try and make sure, try not to look down all the time, try to look nice and straight. So we have to use our brains to make sure that we know the combination, right? And we lift, 1, 2, turn out, 3, 4, toes down, 5, 6, plie. Lift, toes, parallel, toes down, plie. Again, flex, 1, 2, turn out, 3, 4, toes down, plie. Ready, last time, toes, lift, parallel, place them down, plie. So next we're going to do some elevates. We're going to face the bar. Okay, we're going to keep our feet together parallel. So a lot of the times when they're first starting ballet, you want to work in the parallel positions while their muscles get nice and strong and developed before you start working and turn out too much. So we're going to put our feet together parallel. We're just going to lift up onto the toes with straight legs. Go, 1, keeping these ankles together, 2, lower, 3, 4, go, lift up as high as you can, hold, squeezing the ankles, and lower nice and slow, and up slowly, and lower, and lift slowly, and lower. If you feel like your class is advanced enough, you can do the same thing, turn down first position. So she's going to stand in first, there we go, nice straight legs and squeezing her bum. She's going to lift up, hold, and down to first. No plie. Ready? We're just going to lift up onto the toes. Go straight up. Straight knees. And then lower. Okay? So every time you come down from your elevate, you're going to make sure that your heels are touching. And slowly lift. Go ahead and hold. 3, 4, we lower. 5, 6, 7, 8. Go higher. Go slow. Squeezing together, slowly coming down. And let's go a little bit faster. 2 counts. 1, 2, lower down. Lift up, for 2, and down. Good, and lift. And lower. Last time. Same thing, turn it out. Here we go. Slowly first. Slow, and now we come down slow, and press slow, slow, good. Ready, double time, 2 counts. Up, 1, 2, down, 1, lift, 2, heels touch, every time we come down, remember? And lift. And lift. And down, finish. Okay, so next we're going to teach them their plies. So we're going to start in parallel position. Okay, we're going to place our hands on your bar or your wall. Okay, you're just simply going to bend our knees. So plie means to bend. Yeah. So we're going to plie, bend, 1, 2, we're going to straighten legs, 3, 4, and plie, 5, 6, straighten, 7, 8, plie, 1, 2, and stretch. One more. So we're going to do 4 parallel position. Good, and we're going to turn out to first. Same thing. Plie, and stretch. 4 demi-plies, plie, and stretch. Plie. Keep pushing those knees out to the side. And stretch. plie, and stretch and finish. So tendu means to point, yes. So we're going to start parallel again. We're going to tendu 1, 2, we're going to flex 3, 4. So as we flex, we're dropping the heel down onto the ground. And back to tendu 5, 6, close, 7, 8. Left leg, 1, 2, flex, heel on the floor, toe on the floor, and close. And flex, point, flex, and point, and close, tendu, and flex, point, close. At the end, we're going to take a nice little elevate up, squeezing the ankles together, hold, and lower to tendu. So moving on from tendus, we're going to go into passes or retires. Okay, so there's two words that you can use. Neither one are right or wrong. They're just different. Okay, different styles of ballet. We're going to start parallel. We're going to lift our right leg up to our knee, drag it up 1, 2, 3, 4, lower 5, 6, 7. Other side, left. Passe up, drawing the tummy in, nice and tall, and lower and down. We're going to do this. You can do this 4 times or you can do this 8 times depending on how big your class is, how many repetitions they need to do, and you can sort of cater to what you need. So we're going to go ahead and just do 4 to demonstrate for you guys today. Passe, right, left. Dragging up the leg the entire time. They're just called toe walks, right? So we're going to come up onto our toes like this, holding onto our wall or ballet bar if you have one. And we're simply going to flex the ankle and tap, 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 walk it out. 6, 7, 8. So our knees are straight the whole time. And we're not wobbling like this, right? We're lifting toe, toe, toe. So it's the act of flexing and pointing again. And it's really developing their leg muscles. 1, 2, center work. We're going to place our hands on our hips. We're going to do some tendu leg lifts. Okay, we're going to tendu our right leg out. 1, 2. You're going to lift up. 3, 4. Hold. 5, 6. Tendu. 7. Close. 8. Left. 1, 2. And lift. And hold. Tendu. Close. We're going to do 4 to the front. Then we're going to take it 4 to the side. Okay, so when we go to the side, it's okay if their working leg turns out, but their supporting leg is just going to stay parallel for now because it's asking too much of their rotators at a younger age. So we're going to keep it nice and parallel. So we're working on developing, the strength, the stability, and the muscles that they need to progress in ballet. So standing parallel, take one step back for me, Missy. There we go. Okay, ready? Let's get started. But we're not going to quite get to petite allegro yet. We're going to start with our feet together, our hands on our hips. We are going to do tuck jumps. Okay, so Chace is going to jump nice and tall, and she's going to tuck these legs and feet up underneath her bum, straight up and down. Okay, working on pointing those feet. Go, jump, tuck. Good. So if she turns to the side to show you, this is what it looks like. Go. Jump. Keep jumping. Go. Jump. Jump. But she's going to try and touch her bum with her feet every single time. Yes. Good. Okay, let's do some music. If you have a full class, what I like to do is line them up and go row by row. So the first row is going to do 8 toe tuck jumps. Second row goes 8. Third row goes 8. All together the whole class for the fourth count of 8. But since it's just Chace here today, we're just going to demonstrate for about 2 counts of 8 what the jumps look like. We're going to demonstrate just about 2 counts of 8, and that's it. Okay, ready? So to add a little bit of fun to the class, so you can have a really cool stuff and you're just going to jump side to side, jump side and side. Okay, so we're going to start from back to front first. Jump ropes for a whole song. Okay, so it's about a minute long, but we don't have a jump rope with us here today. Go ahead and stock your dance studio with jump ropes so that everybody has their own, and you jump rope for a whole minute. So we're going to pretend jump rope. We're going to have our arms here, we're going to be circling them, and we're going to jump them down. Okay? It doesn't matter how the students jump over the rope. If they need to skip for now, that's okay. If they want to tuck their legs all the way up nice and high, that's fine. Okay, so Chancey's just going to demonstrate an air jump rope. Air jump rope for an entire song, okay? We're not going to go an entire song because we don't want to waste time, but your class would go for an entire song. But anywhere between 5 to 7, 4 to 7, I would recommend this class. So thank you, Chancey, for demonstrating, and we will see you for our next lesson.